Hello, my friends, and welcome to Shakespeare's Coffee Break, the daily show discussing all that is best in life over coffee. I am your friendly neighbourhood Shakespeare, and I am on my coffee break. In fact, let's start us off with a great noisy slurp. Oh yeah, that is some good internet audio right there. We have a wonderful show for you today. So much going on. I mean, we have Julius Caesar, Beware the Ides of March of the Penguins tonight. Lord Pistachio, Sir Baron Sir, I don't know, but Baron Sir Pistachio became a Lord Patron of Shakespeare's social distancing players this morning. And then, right now, this very moment, we are going to be bringing in a wonderful guest for you. Oh, because if music be the food of love, play on. Lords and ladies, with no further ado, please welcome the court composer, Lady Prudence. Oh, well done. Yeah, well done, Lady Prudence. And if music be the food of love, play on. Goodness.
I never tire of that line. You know, Twelfth Night is my favorite of your productions.
Really? That was the very first play I did with my social distancing players back on April Fool's Day. We did Twelfth Night and the Three Bears.
I'm so happy whenever that play gets featured. The story between Viola and Orsino, Cesario is such a lovely, crunchy character. I just cannot get enough of it, my love.
Yeah, it's one of my more messed up ones too. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Perhaps that's why it appeals to me so.
Yeah, you like the messed up sort of love. So I have coffee. What do you have right there?
Well, my dear friend, as Her Majesty's court composer, I must keep my vocal cords well hydrated. So it's water for me. I get my coffee after I'm done singing for the day. So fortunately, I'm not highly affected by caffeine. Would you like some Foley work from me?
Yes, I would love Foley work from you. There we go. I got a little bit of it.
It's difficult, but for you, I'll try it.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Oh, goodness gracious. Now, how have you been doing, my dear?
My sweet friend, I have been doing as well as I possibly can. Now, it has been a dive into the deep end, but I have worked so hard to improve my technological capabilities during this trying time, as I, like many others, have suffered from the closures of my Renaissance festival.
Yes.
So I haven't been allowed to play in person for anyone, which is why I've started doing 3 live stream shows a week on my Facebook page.
Oh, yes, and people can find that by going to facebook.com/lady.prudence.piper.
That is exactly right, Shakespeare. I knew you'd get it right. And it has been such fun. I have loads of people who watch, and they give me their requests in real time so that I can play exactly what they want to hear, exactly when they want to hear it. Shakespeare, that makes me think of something. Perhaps we should ask all of our friends who are watching this show right now if they'd like to request a song or two from me.
Oh, well, that would be wonderful. So you watching at home or at work, wasting time or on company dime, and maybe even watching on the loo, because let's be honest, that's where most of us watch it, on our devices. Throw in your requests to Lady Prudence this day. And we also have a comment coming in right now from Miriam Rosenberg. She says that she loves your music and has all of your CDs.
Oh, my sweet friend. Well, Does Miriam have my newest single, which is now available only on my Bandcamp page, ladyprudence.bandcamp.com? I've recently written a song called Bardic Inspiration, +1 D10.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so very proud, and I was thinking of you while I wrote it, my dear. Now, it's based in the world of Dungeons and Dragons. Do you think that would be my first song that I play?
I think that would be absolutely the best while we gather a crowd here. So let us start that off. And for friends, you can go to ladyprudence.bandcamp.com in order to hear this song other than right here. But I'm already recording it, so this is mine. So you go away. All right. Here she is, Lady Prudence with +1 inspiration.
Indeed. For when life is determined by the roll of the dice, we all could use a little bit of help. And that's where your bard comes in. You've entered your battle, the odds are stacked. Your companions are weary, they've launched a sneak attack. And I know that my strengths cannot save all your pain, but I tune up my strings for an inspirational refrain. This song is for you, to help you be strong. This song is for you when the fight is too long. And I know you have fought for enough strength to win, but my gift to you is this. Roll an extra D10. I've joined you at play, and I've sung you to rest. I've heard you scream curses to get off your chest. I've poured you the ales to lighten your load. Now as I strike my strings, my true magic flows. This song is for you, to help you be brave. This song is for you, there's an innocent to save. And I know your journeys take you far from your friends, but my gift to you is this. Roll an extra D10. When your party is fallen and your swords turn to rust, and you seek for the answers and the ones you can trust, though nobody asked you to right all these wrongs, even if I'm not with you, my heart is in this song. This song is for you, so you're never alone. Think of the lives you've saved as you've gone. And I know you've fought and you will fight again, but my gift to you is this. This song is for you and the path that you're on. The fight is worth fighting. Carry on, carry on. And I know you've waited for the battle to win, but my gift to you is this. When you need it, my gift is this. Roll an extra D10. So, make it a good one, because if you botch the roll, I still expect a thank you. Or, when all this is over, you can take me out for a cider or something. Just don't ever let anyone tell you that the bard does nothing in battle. I spent a spell slot on this. You're welcome.
Oh, well done, Revo Huzzah! Lady Prudence with +1 inspiration. Oh my gosh. And my dear baby Yoda.
I remembered all the words in their proper order when I sang it for my single release.
That was wonderful.
Now, I think we should find some more topics to chat about, but while we do, our friends can choose the next song. If it should be a song of love, hate, myths, monsters, food, drink, homecoming, farewell, mourning, death, war, peace, songs of nature, songs of nostalgia, dance tune, sea shanty, or a lullaby.
Oh, well, where does that one fit in that we just had?
Well, I like to think of that one do you know what would lead me to that song? I think that song, if I really want to sing that one, then I would tack on at the end, or I could sing you my new song about D&D.
Nice. Or adventuring. It's a song of adventuring.
It is a song of adventure, isn't it? Or it's also a song of hope, a song to heighten the spirits and give one strength. So it's a lot of categories.
Well, that makes me think, though, we're going to need to get you on as a guest player on the new show I do with Paolo Garbanzo, Nat 21 Adventures, because the only thing better than a natural 20 is a natural 21. It's 7 to 11. We do it on Sunday evenings on Facebook and twitch.tv/Paolo Garbanzo. And we get to play Dungeons and Dragons with our friends, but an audience is watching. So it is at least as much show as it is game.
It sounds simply terrific.
Oh.
Nothing would make me happier.
Oh, it is wonderful. So that is a grand piece. And our bard that we have, she also is composing original pieces for the party as well. So we heard our first one the other night.
I love it when artistry can be brought out in all of the most appropriate manners.
Oh, absolutely. And it's just genuinely glorious. And we have several requests from Miriam Rosenberg on your next piece, which we'll get to after we pay some bills. So stick around, Lady. Go ahead.
Do what one must needs do.
Indeed. Oh, indeed, for I am nothing if not a mercenary.
To Caesar, his...
Indeed. Well said for tonight's show. But let us go and pay some bills, my friends, because Shakespeare's Coffee Break is brought to you here today by Hill Storage and Rigging Company. Hill Storage and Rigging Company. Enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing your equipment is in skilled and experienced hands, with services from machine movers and erectors in Middletown, PA. Established in 1967, Hill Storage and Rigging Company is a family-owned and operated full-service millwright serving industries in the Mid-Atlantic states and beyond. We are a woman-owned small business. Hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Available Saturdays and Sundays by appointment only. You can contact them at 717-944-7676. That number again is 717-944-7676. Or visit the website hillrigging.com. Hill Storage and Rigging Company. No job too large or too small. And thank you, Hill Rigging, for being our sponsor here on the Coffee Break. If you at home watching would like to become the sponsor, you can email me, shakespeare@shakespeareapproves.com. I'll talk about anything. I'll talk about your winery, your microbrew, your bathtub gin. Why is everything I'm mentioning alcohol right now? I'm not really much of a drinker. I'll talk about your coffee. We can start our own coffee company. Shakespeare approves of this bean. You never know. And you're not seeing it or hearing it because I have her muted and I'm the only one on screen right now. But Lady Prudence apparently thought that one was rather funny. But speaking of our guest, let us move back into the dulcet tones of Lady Prudence. Huzzah!
Always at your service.
Oh. So, Lady Pru.
In front of an audience in person.
Indeed. Indeed. So, Lady Pru, you do shows, thrice weekly on Facebook?
That is correct, my love. Now, I've been keeping up a Renaissance Festival scheduling tradition by doing Saturday shows at 3 p.m. right in the middle of the afternoon. Now, that's Eastern time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And then just to shake things up a bit and give people things to do throughout the week, I also do a Monday evening show at 7 p.m. and that's my Modern Monday, where I show up looking a little bit different from this, and then everyone who signs on and watches can toss ideas for different artists and other contemporary music that they'd like to hear me give a try to. So I've done, this week alone, I did the Mamas and the Papas, Dr. Horrible, and a few others. So I did For Non Blondes, the song What's Up.
Oh, what's going on?
Fantastic.
I love that song.
Precisely. The perfect question for a worldwide pandemic.
Indeed. Because also, we have snow in May and murder hornets.
Yes, what's
Come on!
the murder hornets? Did you and God have a disagreement again, Willie?
No, but it does sound like something I would write. Either me
now,
or Martin.
I'm going to end this comedy. Oh yes, murder hornets.
Murder hornets! And everyone dies. I mean,
everyone has a common enemy at that point, so...
Yes, in all of humanity, the Capulets and the Montagues and the Macbeths and the Macduffs all join together.
That would be... Oh, I love crossovers, Willie. I cannot begin to express how much I want to see you write all of the tragedies plus murder hornets. It's like Pride and Prejudice plus zombies. It's a perfect way to expand on the work.
I think it's coming. It's just a matter of time before I get bored enough to do it.
So Willie and I haven't yet gotten to. So that was I do Saturdays, Modern Mondays, and then Terrific Tuesdays is classic Prudence again at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So
that's
3
wonderful.
shows a week.
That's wondrous. And they go for 1-2 hours.
Typically it's over an hour, about hour and 15, hour and a half. So sometimes it goes longer if we're all feeling particularly inspired, but it's at least a good hour of music and revelry to lighten your loads, my friends.
Oh, that is wonderful, Lady Prudence. And we have a few requests here. Looks like Miriam Rosenberg is suggesting quite a few things here. So she's requesting Harper's Love, Oh Danny Boy, or The Water is Wide, and then parenthetically says, your choice.
Oh, my love. Oh, what excellent choices. Now that the first choice she made is in fact another piece of my own composition. So Harper's Love. So I think I might as well do that one. Let's see if I can remember all the words to this piece that I wrote. Do you ever have difficulty, Shakespeare, in remembering the words to one of the monologues that you yourself penned?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Indeed. So
and then I just fake it.
And I don't get to sing this song very often, but I'm glad for the chance. Oh, and it is featured upon my first album, Journeys, Songs to Transport You.
That's wonderful.
All right, so are you ready? This is the one about the time when I was in love with a songwriter.
Oh, very nice. Well, lords and ladies, Lady Prudence.
Your eyes see a sonnet in all that I do. Your ears hear an aria's grace. Your mouth tells a story in opera's form of my love that you'd never replace. Your fingers find melodies on instruments, songs to tell about all that I do. I wish that I had but an ounce of the talent that lies in the heart in you. For the words that you find leave me trembling with love. You weave a tune strong as a city's fine bond. You find untold beauty in all around you, and I never know how to respond. Your feet find a rhythm while busy at work. There's the next dazzling lyrics you craft, regaling the world with my beauty untold. At your boldness I cannot but laugh. Your pencil flies swift in the face of ideas. Inspiration gives you wondrous skill, and yet you find time for me day in and out, and your songs are sensational still. For the words that you find leave me trembling with love. You weave a tune strong as the city's fine bond. You find untold beauty in all around you, and I never know how to respond. Yes, the words that you find leave me trembling with love. You weave a tune strong as the city's fine bond. You find untold beauty in all around you, and I never know how to respond. Yes, I never know how to respond.
Oh, Rivo, Lady Prudence, well done.
That was one
and
of the
friends.
songs I ever wrote.
Oh, well, it was wonderful. Well, friends, you can get that track and along with all the other ones on that album, her very first album, Journeys, from ladyprudence.bandcamp.com.
You've got it exactly right, Shakespeare. Well done indeed.
Oh, thank you very much, sweet friend. Now, presupposing that we are able to pick up again at some point this year with physical shows, that not only that we will not have to be maintaining the physical distancing, hopefully too far into the fall. What is the next show that you are scheduled for?
Why, Shakespeare, the next show that I'm scheduled for, should all things go as they very much ought, my dear friend, that will be an opportunity for me to see you at Her Majesty's New York Renaissance Fair.
Oh, I do enjoy that show so very much, the New York Renaissance Fair. So that will be mid-August then, as it is for me.
Indeed. And now I very much hope that everyone is staying inside, washing their hands, obeying best practices, listening to Her Majesty's CDC, so that we all can enjoy ourselves at the venue of the New York Renaissance Fair. And then just after that, I'm due to be at the Carolina Renaissance Festival. That's in Charlotte, North Carolina. So, God willing, and the creek don't rise.
Wonderful. Yes. About 80% of the people, it would seem, according to numbers I have read recently, agree with you that we should be maintaining the best practices. But there are about 20% of us out there who are flaming idiots and believe in putting everything off as long as possible in the interests of having everything now, Daddy, now, because I am Veruca Salt and want an Oompa Loompa.
I want the world. I want the whole world. I want to lock it all up in my pocket so it can't be affected by the pandemic.
I love where that went. That was wonderful. Ah, goodness gracious.
I'm an improviser. What can I say?
But Lady Pru, speaking of improvisation and everything, how did you come into this Renaissance Fair world?
What an excellent question, my love. Now, it all started long, long ago when I was but a wee lass, and my dear mum used to take us to the Georgia Renaissance Festival. Now, I remember only a few things of my early experiences at Renaissance festivals. I remember the joust. I remember making a waxed hand, you know, when you dip your hand in the wax,
yes,
bunches of hands, and then you cover it with rainbow colors, and then you got this mold of your hand. And if you're lucky and you store it correctly, then for a while you can still fit your hand up in there. It's just, I loved it. So I also remember pickles, and I remember bubbles, and I remember pickles that tasted like bubbles.
One of my very good friends, for nearly 20 years now, I met whilst he was the pickle seller at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Festival. So,
lovely.
Yes, that is Steve.
It's a noble profession. You have to keep not only hydrated, but so what would that be? The electrolytes or salt?
Yes.
What it is that the pickles, they just perfectly supply what the body needs when you've been out adventuring, sweating, and enjoying yourself in a Renaissance festival.
So yes.
When I was at university and coming towards the end of my university years, I was about to graduate, and then I realized I very much needed a job. and it just so happens that I found out about they were hiring at the Georgia Renaissance Festival, so I went and got my first job there, working make your own candle stand. I worked for the Wax Hands people. So, and then the following year, I auditioned for their local cast. And then someone who looks a lot like me was a fairy at the Georgia Renaissance Festival for 9 years.
Goodness gracious.
Indeed. And then I determined that I should go to the Carolina Renaissance Festival and audition to be Her Majesty's Court Composer, a title that I invented for myself, but it seems there have I been ever since. And now I travel full time in the service of the Queen, at least in better times I do.
Yes. Oh, wondrous, wondrous. And that actually very similarly reflects my own journey. Yes.
Really? Were you a fairy once too?
No, not a fairy. Not a fairy. Although, oh, that would have been wonderful. The festival.
You'd make such a great fairy.
I really would. I seriously would. And as many fairies are often prancing about in tights, I have great legs. I just gotta put that out there. I mean, my legs are never on display at any Renaissance festival because I despise having to wear tights. However, on the rare occasions
of all of us who are heartbroken at losing that wondrous sight.
You know, someday it'll happen. I will flex off my soccer player running legs. And by the way, I'm very sorry for saying soccer to everyone there at home. Being an Englishman, it's footy. It's footy. And John Oliver has a wondrous joke that every time someone says soccer, an English person dies. However, we are a stiff upper lip lot, and we can take it. So, but I too started working for a vendor my very first year at a Renaissance festival, and then the next year I auditioned for the local cast, and then moved into the professional company, and from there graduated out to being a traveling variety performer. So.
Oh, huzzah, Shakespeare, yeah. And we are all the better for it.
We are, because the world needs more of me. So. Oh, goodness gracious! But we have but time looks like for about one more piece from you. So the comments are relatively few at the moment, but I am going to say, out of the two suggestions that are remaining for songs by you, either Oh Danny Boy or The Water Is Wide. Danny Boy I actually sang earlier today with my wife.
Oh, lovely. Or I could give a song of farewell, since we're about to say goodbye.
And let us do that. Let us have a song of farewell. Yes. Lords and ladies, with her song of farewell, please welcome to the stage once again the one, the only, the incomparably talented court composer, Lady Prudence.
Oh, we have come to an end, and it's time to say so long, my friend. I hope you can feel that the meaning is real when we promise to meet once again. Be you rich man or poor man, a fool or a sure man, we've gathered our hands and we've made a merry stand. People may come and may go, that's the nature of things, I suppose. But one thing's for certain, the night is a curtain where the moon of our memory glows. So bring on the starlight, make everything end right. A dream's just a memory that grows. And the fair time was our time, a dream time to share time, fair times, a fine time to know. Oh, we have come to an end, and it's time to say so long, my friend. I hope you can feel that the meaning is real when we promise to meet once again. So bring on the starlight, make everything end right. A dream's just a memory that grows, and the fair time was our time, a dream time to share time, fair time's a fine time to know. Yes, the fair time was a fine time to know.
Lords and ladies, she is Lady Prudence, the court composer. Find her music, ladyprudence.bandcamp.com. Go to her Facebook page, facebook.com/lady.prudence.piper. Get all of her CDs, get all the things, but also, friends, let's look at all of her ways you can follow and support her. Download soothing tunes at ladyprudence.bandcamp.com. Her sweet and sassy songs, voicesofvirtue.bandcamp.com. You can follow her on Patreon, patreon.com/ladyprudence. Gratuities are always appreciated. Toss a coin. And oh my God, I was muted for half of that. Oh goodness gracious, that was ridiculous. Oh my goodness. We're having all sorts of technical issues on this show today, but Lady Prudence, the people love you. And one of the last comments here, two of the last comments, I should say. One from Miriam Rosenberg, huzzah, NY Renfair, see you both there. Miriam, we shall indeed, your mouth to God's ears. And Gillian Brownlee, whilst you were doing The Fair Time Was a Fine Time to Know, or rather, Bring on the Starlight, one of my absolute favorite songs. Gillian Brownlee, down in Louisiana, says, lovely.
Oh, sweet friends. Yes, Terry Spurlock wrote that song, and we are all indebted for him capturing that perfect, that perfect notion of what it's like to be at a fair and put your heart into it, and to know that your family will always be waiting for you there.
It is genuinely one of my absolute favorites. And the now Foxy Bod and I, whenever we are together, especially on the final day of a festival, we like to sing that as part of our set. Yeah.
That sounds like a dream, and I hope to have a chance to share these songs with you very soon.
As do I. And so I do hope to see you in August. But before that, I want you to come back at the very latest in July for Christmas in July here on Shakespeare's Coffee Break.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King.
Not yet!
I'm absolutely ready.
Oh, well, wondrous.
It's been 2 years since I've been in quarantine this month. All right, so it's been a long couple of years.
Yeah, is it June or is it Wednesday? I'm not sure.
I feel like the White Witch has come and taken over all of Narnia because it's forever winter and never Christmas.
Indeed. Well, we shall make it Christmas here again,
Huzzah.
and the spiced mead will flow. So, friends, as we are wrapping up the show, and please go support your Lady Prudence, toss a coin to your bard. As we are wrapping up the show here, I would like to remind you that you can join me tonight. Julius Caesar, Beware the Ides of March of the Penguins is going to be tonight on Facebook and YouTube, youtube.com/C/Shakespeare Approves, and also on the main Facebook page, facebook.com/Shakespeare Approves. Julius Caesar, Beware the Ides of March of the Penguins, as presented by the Social Distancing Players. And friends, I'd like to thank you all for joining me here today on Shakespeare's Coffee Break. Now, if you'd like to support the show, you certainly can by going to coffee.com/Shakespeare. That's ko-fi.com/Shakespeare, and buy me a cup of coffee. Giving you some very good internet audio there. And also go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/Shakespeare, to become a recurring supporter. Friends, it gives me such great honor, and it makes me so very humble that you join me day after day for this show. Tomorrow, we're switching things up a bit. It is not going to be Shakespeare's Coffee Break. Rather, instead, we are doing Talking Trek. Talking Trek, the brand new Star Trek show with my co-host, Brian Harvard, the producer of the Connecticut Renaissance Fair. Lady Prudence over on the side, by the way, she is losing her nerve. She is living long and prospering. But Make certain you join us for that. And again, of course, tonight, Julius Caesar, Beware the Ides of March of the Penguins. 7:05 p.m. Eastern Time here on Facebook, facebook.com/Shakespeare Approves, and on youtube.com/C/Shakespeare Approves. Now, as we are ending the show here, Lady Prudence gave you a wonderful song of goodbye, and I would like to give you a song that's becoming a little bit of a tradition as a goodbye myself. So, from all of us here in Shakespeare Land, to all of you, I just simply want to say, good night, my friends. Lay by my side and we'll sail away, off to the shores of another day. All set to go once I hear you say, good night, my friends, until the morning. Up we will float as we close our eyes. Stars all around us like fireflies. Just me and you drifting through the skies. Good night, my friends. Not a thought, not a care. Resting safe and sound with each other there. And so we'll rock on our nighttime, cozy and warm on the rolling tide, till we arrive on the morning side at journey's end. Good night, sleep tight, we're all gonna be alright. Good night, my friends. Good night, my friends. Thank you very much for joining us for this show. We're all in this together, sometimes physically separated, but we have this to connect us. I love you, you love me. There's mutual glorious affection. Tune in for Caesar tonight and Talking Trek tomorrow. Peace and long life. Bye-bye.